Hey guys, Crystal Thompson here for Simon Says Stamp. Today I have a very fun stenciled card and we are using the February card kit, and I wanted to create a set of cards that was using the beautiful stenciled included in the kit with a variation of patterns and looks. For these awesome cards, we're using just the contents of the card kit, a couple stamps, a couple ink blending, and a little bit of coloring. I really hope you enjoy this video on creating stenciled cards. So before we get started, let me show you what's included in this kit. If you don't like it, fast forward about 15 seconds. This is the February 2021 card kit. It includes so much stuff. We got the awesome Sweet Truffles 3x4. We got a full jar of the awesome Nina K Designs Popping Neil Glitter. We also have the Sizzix LOVESTRUCK Sequins, which is really cool. This is the awesome stencil that I was talking to you about. This is the Tumbling Heart 6x8 stencil. And then we have a full-size 6x8 Love You Very Much stamp set. Look how large this thing is. And then for cardstock, we got 2 envelopes in pink and a lovely kind of iridescent white. And then we have a package of awesome Simon Says Stamp black note cards, and it includes 10. And then you got some really pretty cardstock in surf blue, doll pink, cotton candy, solar white, and it's just a really fun variation of supplies in the kit. So it's a ton of money and you're gonna create a ton of cards. So my first one, we're gonna be doing some ink blending with the stencil, simple stamping, and then layering. I have 2 pieces of that 110-pound solar white cardstock included in the kit. And I have done these to an A2 size. And then this little part, the little cardstock inside, is about 1/4 of an inch smaller. I'm going to attach my awesome Tumbling Heart stencil. And I absolutely love the stencil. It's super, super cool. We're going to use 3 colors of Distress Oxide, Festive Berries, Ink Raspberry, and worn lipstick. And we're going to begin at the very bottom with that worn lipstick, and I'm just using my blender brushes, and I'm going to fast forward the process of the ink blending because I know you guys know how to ink blend, but I'm going to think about having some invisible lines, kind of cut this into thirds for my ink blending. Then I'm going to move on to picked raspberry, and I'm going to do a really hard line, really deep shade of this beautiful pink, and then blending towards the bottom. And then I'm going to grab my red ink blender, and using the Festive Berries, I'm going to start at the top and then bringing that color down to that middle section of pink. And I'm going to blend. This took about, I don't know, 2 minutes or so, but it's a great way to create a background using a lovely stencil in 3 colors of ink. So now that I have that ready to go, we're going to set that aside to let it dry and grab the Love You Very Much heart. This is from that 6x8 stamp set. This is a large stamp set. And I'm going to ink up the Hugs and Kisses using that picked raspberry color. I have trimmed it using my scissors and then added some foam adhesive to the back. On a separate piece of white cardstock, I have that XOXO beautiful long stamp. For this card, I am not going to use my Misty. I need to get a long acrylic block, but I don't have it. And I'm going to be using the 2 colors of Distress Oxide to stamp this XOXO. And as you can see, since I'm only going to be utilizing part of it, I didn't need to put my entire stamp set on a long acrylic block, and because I don't have one. I trimmed that. And now I have a 2-tone XOXO. I'm going to add that XOXO strip to the back of that heart, and then I'm going to cut another strip of foam adhesive, placing it on the back of that longer piece. I'm going to press down and remove the backing, and then we're going to place this on the center of the card. Once that's done, we're going to embellish using the beautiful Sizzix LOVESTRUCK sequins, and these are really quite pretty. I felt this matched that picked raspberry color very nicely, and so I'm adding glue to the bottom, and then I'm kind of attaching them and pushing them in, and you can even add some more. And that does it for our first card, doing some ink blending with the stencil. All right, for our second card, we're going to utilize the same colors we just did, but we're going to add some of the pink neon glitz, and we're going to add a cute little bear. For this, I'm going to do a 6x6 card stock cut for our card base, and then I cut about 1/4 of an inch for the inner part of this. And you can even mask it if you only wanted to use one piece of cardstock, but I really wanted to use both of them. So I'm going to secure my cardstock down to my mat, and I'm going to bring in that worn lipstick. This is that light pink shade we used earlier, and we're going to reverse the ink blending here. We're going to start with the light color at the top, and then coming down with our picked raspberry onto the center. And I'm just going to blend those guys really, really nicely. And then I'm going to come in with my red, in this case being Festive Berries. I'm going to grab my red ink blender, and then I'm going to blend towards the center and blending these guys really nicely. So again, we're going to have a mat of white for the card base. And I felt I really needed to add a little bit more color, so I came back and added another set of layers. I'm going to grab my brush with water, and I'm going to flicker because this is Distress Oxide. It's going to react with the water. Going to let that dry for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to bring in some white paint. In this case, I'm using the Altenew Pure White, removing the back end of this spray and then using that to flicker. You don't have white paint, you could easily create flickering medium using watercolors, create a nice little base, and then flicker over the top. Gonna let that dry for a couple minutes, and I'm gonna come back with our beautiful stencil that we're gonna use, that the Tumbling Heart 6x6 stencil. I'm gonna attach it using some purple tape, and then we're gonna flip this around. And for this, we're gonna use the included Thermoweb Rena K Designs Popping Pink Neon Glitz Glitter Gel. And oh my gosh, I thought this was gonna be super pink, which it is. However, the glitter in this is amazing. I would have never thought to buy this, and I'm so glad that Simon has included this in the kit because I am so gonna go get other colors. It is really beautiful. When I saw these at CHA I think it was last year, I didn't think that I would use this, and I'm so glad. So guys, Thermoweb, this is an amazing product. I'm going to remove that top of the stencil, and look how pretty. And we didn't lose the ink blending that we just did. I've added some adhesive to our card base, and I'm going to press this cardstock down. This is not dry, but for the purposes of the video, I wanted to show you what it looks like once it's matted on white. And you could easily do this by doing some masking. Next, I have one of the little bear from the Love You Very Much 6x8 stamp set included in the kit. And for this, I left the heart not colored because I'm going to use one of the sentiments, Hello Love, using that picked raspberry that's going to match. And I'm really digging right now stamping with my ink blending colors. I'm going to add some foam adhesive to this. I'm going to place him right on the center. And I did letting that Hello Love dry just a little bit because I didn't want to smudge it. And Distress Oxide does take a little bit to dry. I'm going to come in with my Mono Adhesive Clear Drops. It's just clear glue. You can even use Elmer's, adding a couple lines, and then I was trying to find an excuse to use the Sizzix LOVESTRUCK Sequins, and these are a very light type of sequin. It's super kind of like confetti-ish. It's really, really pretty. And I'm gonna add these to the sides. Make sure that your gel is completely dry, that the Rena K Designs glitter gel. And I'm gonna add these hearts. I'm gonna clean them off my little bear, and that does it for embellishment. This is a super glittery card. Loving the ink blending. Now, we are going to continue on with our stencil in our Very Much, but I wanted to use the beautiful pattern papers included in this kit. So in this kit, there is also pattern paper. This is a Sweet Talk Simple Stories. You get quite a few sheets, 12 sheets of that Simple Stories 6x8 paper. I've already trimmed this to an A2 size. I'm going to add my awesome stencil, which is the main course for this video, of course. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to bring in Distress Oxides and Fired Brick, and I'm gonna blend this red. And I didn't think it was red enough. So after I added one layer of this fired brick, I came back with my Simon Says stamp lipstick red, which is super red. And then with the same brush, I decided I was just gonna brush over it, and you can see immediately the change. And I wanted these hearts to pop out from the beautiful lines of this cardstock just because it would make it look really cool. I thought the lipstick red with those lines would look super, super pretty. And there you have it. Now we're gonna layer that pattern cardstock over some black cardstock that I had in my stash. The black is not included in the kit, but I feel we all have black cardstock. And then I have my Very Much Bear, Love You Very Much Bear, and I've colored the interior of that heart black with Copics. I'm going to use a tiny little stamp, Hey Cutie, from the Love You Very Much 6x8 stamp set. I've added a little piece of foam adhesive, and then I added it to the inner part of the heart. So truly, this is a really easy card. I think the longest part of this is coloring the bear. And last but not least, I'm going to add a couple drops of the Ranger Mini Glossy Accents, also included in the kit. So guys, there's a lot of product in this card kit. We're going to let those drops dry just a little bit. They're going to dry nice and clear, and it's just going to give it a little bit of shine, but not taking away from that awesome pattern paper. And last but not least, we're creating another black and white creation using the Love You Very Much stamp set along with the super cool Tumbling Hearts 6x6 stencil. For this, we can use some black cardstock, some ivory off-white cardstock that I'm going to mat over the A2 size black. And it's going to leave just a tiny little edge of black, and I really like layering this, especially when I'm going to use some foam adhesive for my little bear. My little bear has been colored with Copics, and then I've added a piece of foam adhesive. I'm going to bring back that Tumbling Heart stencil from the kit. I'm going to secure the cardstock to the back of it using some purple tape, and then we're going to flip it back. Now, for this, we're going to ink blend using some Distress Oxide and Black Soot. And again, I didn't think it was dark enough, so I did come in and using my Simon Says Stamp Black ink, Intense Black. I came back and then added some more ink blending. So depending on what look you're trying to achieve for your background, feel free to utilize even some dye inks for blending. And as you can see, the red's not going to come off of my stencil without me using some harsh chemicals, but that's okay. I'm going to remove the stencil, and then I like to remove the little tape off the back. And now we can move on to placing our card. So this little piece, this little note card, is part of the Simple Stories Sweet Talk 6x8 paper, and there's 4 to a sheet, so I cut this one. I'm going to place it right on the center, and it's kind of off-white as well, and that's what shows my color combination for this card. For the sentiment, I'm going to utilize that XOXO that's already printed onto this pattern paper. So I'm going to place my little bear right over that XOXO, and it all coordinates very, very nicely. You can even do a lighter color of Copic onto that black heart that the little bear is holding on. And then to finish this up, I added some black Nuvo drops. You could easily use some of the clear that is included in the kit. And guys, that does it for me. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you got some inspiration using one stencil for 4 different cards. We utilized the larger of the stamp set for these set of cards, some ink blending, but truly it was all really quickly. We did 4 cards under 15 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to give the video a like. If you have a comment down below, click share, and please do click subscribe to get new videos. I have another video using this card kit. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys later. Have an amazing day.